Ron, we have one final question, and thank you very much for taking the time to answer these, as you always do. You do a great job, and we appreciate you and love you. And so,
Thank you,
let,
Dom.
absolutely. Let's go ahead and ask the final question, and that is, Ron, do you know if once we have finished redemption, managing directors will have the opportunities to go through either MedBeds, the QR, or any other of the medical technologies out there?
Yes, so we have finished redemption. Are you talking about getting the money?
Yeah, after they receive the funds, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and I, I kind of feel like which comes first. Um, here's my assessment of the quantum healing systems. This is the best technology that exists on the earth at this present time. Med beds, if I inquire about med beds, there's always a flaw in a med bed. It does not accomplish what it's supposed to do. It gets you further along than where you are, but it does not complete. That's what med beds are about. What is being brought to us by the QARC in the quantum healing systems, we have a chance to return our body to a perfected 30-year-old body, both male and female. Now, there's no invasion in our body, as in breaking our physicalness and operating and taking stuff out and all that sort of stuff. It's all done by frequencies. Frequencies is a new medicine. When the military had went through their DUMBs and deep underground military bases and finding the children and bringing them out, that process was so disturbing that the military people would go through a healing bed. You have trauma when you see a child that has been tortured and they're maimed and they can't function. If you save their lives, which many of them want to do, they have no basis upon which to follow their life with. Do they follow their life as a torture, as a person who's, this is me, I went through all this, and now I can't function properly. So unless that is completely erased from me, I don't have a chance of having a normal life as a child. Those are the kinds of children who need to go to the heating planet or spaceships and live there until they can work through it with people who know whose love is sufficient to be able to accomplish that. It's not here on the earth. We have the QARC. Just use the QARC. Every human being on the planet at this point in time should be going through the QARC. All of our Loved One Society managing directors should go through the QARC. It's not necessarily that you want to create a place for a QARC bed and have a clinic and all that sort of stuff. You don't need to do that with it. Just go through the experience and have your body renewed. And then that will put you in a better position for you to do the things that you're trying to accomplish with some of the other projects. Not everybody wants to have a healing clinic. Some people want to build homes. We don't know what the alliance, the benevolent ETs have in store for us on how to build things. I've heard it said that you can tear a manufacturing facility down in 2 weeks and reconstruct a new facility for the purposes for which you're creating it in another 2 weeks. This is the technology that comes from the higher realms and the benevolent ETs. We don't have access to that information now. We're still being kept, to some degree, dumbed down. There's others that are following through with those things and being able to understand it better and apply it. So those who are focusing on that will receive those kinds of information. And don't count it out, because it's there and waiting for us to do it. So let's open ourselves up to the reality that there are things that we don't really understand now that we're going to be able to understand in the future. And as we mature and develop and grow, our understanding will be sufficient to be able to implement those kinds of things in the things that we want to do and accomplish as humanitarians. It's all available for us. We have to focus on bringing it out ourselves. We have to realize that somebody has to create it, and we are the ones to create the experiences of our life. We are the ones to create the fifth dimension as we move into the fifth dimensional realms, the higher vibrations. We are the ones. There, our kingdom. That's where our kingdom is. That's where our queendom is. That is where our sovereignty is. So let's move with that. Let's get our thoughts and ideas on something that's really productive, instead of the garbage that we have to put up with on a daily basis with the cabal news. And I don't care if you're with Trump or with whomever you want to be. It doesn't matter, because the right thing is going to happen and take place at the appropriate time. And that has to do with the military, who is in charge of the earth now. We are in military law. That's why military tribunals are more important and have greater authority than the civilian legal system. Just understand that to be true. The military is in charge, period. Or we couldn't have military tribunals that take the place of civilian law, which is all convoluted through the Bar Association, which is a British accredited registry. So if you're a member of the bar, you're part of the registration for the crown. So all of that is going away. It's being used as a facade at the present time. The reality is that the military are doing military tribunals, and those who are connected with sex trafficking and children trafficking, those sorts of things, and the killing of children and so forth, those are death sentences. You're not going to get out of it. If you've been part of that, you're not going to get out of it, period. You will have to go through the justice that is appropriate for the things that you have done. And it has nothing to do with God. It's just justice. Divine justice means that if you kill somebody, then there's recompense that you need to pay for. Mercy will not rob justice, period. So I hope everybody can figure out where they're going with this thing. Now, getting back to the med beds, all of us need to go through something that will extend our life. When you find the one that you think is best for you, then inquire about it. That's why you need to learn how to listen to the voice of the Spirit. You may be getting into a med bed that is not effective. You'll come out of there with deficiencies in your body, unless you can find the one that has been given the full authority of the Alliance, and that is the quantum healing systems. Please understand. That's the med beds that we're talking. Dr. Alfredo calls it a healing bed. And that's the best technology that the Alliance has at the present time, from me inquiring about it. And that's why I have put myself behind this and I'm going to go through the Q arc myself and enjoy a 30-year-old body that I can start doing my Loved One Society stuff with. I hope that helps.
Okay, Ron, with that, we are finished for today's series. Would you like to end with any final comments?
Uh, I love and appreciate you all. I'm dedicating my life to the service of Loved One Society, and those who come along. I'm just so grateful and appreciative of you. It doesn't matter how big our number is. It's just the quality of the good people that are in it. And I appreciate and love, and the kindness that's been returned to me is just overwhelming. And it brings me to my knees in grateful appreciation for what God has prepared for us. So love you all, and we'll end with that.
Very good. And we'll be back next week. Ron, you take care.
Okay. Thank you, Don.